Hey everyone, and welcome back to my horse trailer renovation vlog. We're in part 2, which is the insulation, installing the subfloor and the framing. So here again is my truck full of the materials I purchased for this portion of the renovation. So off to the side here you can see I use the Pink Panther insulation board. It's only 1/2 inch thick and it's 4x8 sheets. So you can see I'm just kind of cutting them to size and pushing them in between the aluminum frame on the trailer. It's actually really nice if you can get them really snug. They kind of just sit in there by themselves. I will eventually use the foil tape to kind of help, ensure that they stay in there. So I'd gotten probably 80% of the way done. I still had to work on the ceiling there. Here I am cutting the plywood. Again, that's 1/2 inch thick, 4x8 sheet. I think it's untreated plywood. I figured it's inside the trailer. It doesn't need to be treated, so that's each to their own if you want to get it treated or not. This was a fun process. So like I said before, keep your carpet because it's going to be a great template for the cutout of your plywood. So I did find out up in the corner there was like a really unique way it was cut. I did have to trim off a little bit because it wouldn't fit perfectly, but it got in there good enough. But getting this thing in and out of there with the size of it was just so difficult. I'm in there trying to get it to fit down into the groove on that corner, and I think I realized that I needed to trim a little bit more off. So, maybe just keep that in mind because the board does not flex as easy as the carpet, But I think the worst part was getting it in and out of the door to the trailer, really, because of the size of the board itself. I mean, when I didn't have it cut down too much further than a 4x8, it was tight in there to maneuver it and try not to like cut up all your insulation with the corners of the plywood and everything. So yeah, just enjoy my misery here for a second. It was terrible. Okay, so here is the so when I laid down the insulation on the floor, I didn't want to put any screws to the floor or the bottom part of the trailer. Some people have done that in the past, but I use that construction adhesive, and you have to wait until it's like 40 degrees outside, a consistent 40 degrees, like day and night, for that to set. There's the aluminum flashing I use. That's what you'll put in and put that and tape it into the frame. But anyways, I put the sealant down, or the construction adhesive down, insulation, construction adhesive, and then I put the plywood on top. So if you do not want to screw into your floor, I highly suggest getting a very, very strong construction adhesive. That's going to hold that down. And I did weight it down. I have some kettlebells, and then my toolbox is pretty heavy, so I put those on top to kind of just keep it weighted down. That way it really got a good adhesion to the board and insulation, and it should not have any interaction with the aluminum. It said it could be used on any metal like aluminum and whatever, etc. This is the new 30 amp plug-in. I drilled I think it was a 2.5 inch hole to install that. I got it off Amazon, and this will be the 10-2 wire that comes in that will go into your new breaker panel. I got the ceiling done apparently. There's a nice view of everything pretty much completed. I did put insulation up in that little curved area. This is a vinyl sheet floor. It's all one piece. I learned from another YouTuber that suggested that you do that because if you do the tongue and groove with the heating and cooling of the trailer, it could actually make where it kind of clinks together kind of rise up. And I took a little break from that to put on new, I guess it's called hazard tape. I really don't know. Oh, so much prettier. That way you can see me coming down the road. It was a nice little break from the measuring and cutting. Now I got started on my framing. So what I did was you have to pre-drill your holes into this frame, and I take it from someone who knows. Do not get any screws that are over 1.5 inches to put through the wood to your frame, because if not, you're going to go outside your trailer. Take it from someone who knows. And I did my furring strips directly on the frame of the trailer itself, and it's hollow, so I mean, they were self-tapping screws. I think they were literally 1.5 inches. And here I put in my carpet. It was the cheapest carpet I could find. There's no padding behind it or anything like that.